coming out of quarterly season, I was now at that pace of just healthy habits, keeping pace with traveling, that when I pulled the traveling out, that's when the kind of entrepreneurial juices really started flowing. So I think the first voice was just Jeremy, pause. Like, you can't do all these things and do them well. And that, like, what I remember of the biggest thing that stood out to me was my body is telling me something. And the last time that this happened, where my body freaked out, it caused the first panic attack that I ever had. And, going through that for the first time was like crippling for weeks and months on end. So that was interesting to kind of go through that a second time with a little bit more hindsight.
Yeah, incredible. So it's interesting too, the mental health aspect of it. I think about the first, guests that we've had, the two companies, right, are therapists. And we've talked a little bit about that. So you do have quite a bit of clients that are in that space, which, that could be just by coincidence or not, but it does just, maybe just bring to mind also understanding of how important mental health is,
Yeah.
and then bringing some consciousness to it. And certainly, you felt that, and you're seeing it physically. And, this is where even having, a good mindset, or, your self-talk could be, well, I can make this happen. I've been through this before, just a couple more weeks. But instead, you listen to that voice of pause,
Yeah.
which, that in of itself is amazing, right? Because a lot of people either don't hear that or just feel like maybe that's not an option. Now, perhaps that's where the freedom of working, being your own boss, if you will, right? You work for you, is that you do have the capability to make that choice, where perhaps some people don't. The last thing that they're going to do is go and say, you know what, I need to take a time out on some of the commitments as an employee. On the other hand, you also are carrying the load of all your client work and your family at the same time.